back to the Get Well with Me live stream. I'm back. I know I took a little break there. I am your hypnotist, Adrianne Hart, and together we explore the healing powers of our subconscious mind while leaning in towards a healthier lifestyle. And our philosophy here is excellence, not perfection. And today I wanted to bring with you a concept, the will to be well. And this is inspired by episode 222 that was just released on Spotify and on YouTube. And it's a beautiful session. It speaks directly to the inner part of you that is even deeper than identity. Because I know I speak a lot about identity level, thinking as a healthy person, acting as a healthy person, and even deeper than identity is your will. So I want to give you a few examples. Have you ever seen a person will themselves to stay alive? They promised that they would stay alive to see their grandchildren get married, or they would care for someone who they love. And their life force seems to remain intact until they don't feel until their work is done, until their mission is complete. And then they almost seem to surrender and follow that person that they love into the next dimension, we'll say. Have you ever witnessed someone fall in love and suddenly just transform their health and wellness? It's something about that will, right? I know we've all heard where there's a will, there's a way. Imagine if your will to be well, to be your most vital, healthiest self, imagine if it was discouraged or perhaps it was sleeping. And you could have someone come along, help you to get into that comfortable, dreamlike state and awaken that will to be well, to actually just tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, you've got a job to do. And when that will to be well is awakened, what is possible for you? How good can you feel? How much can you accomplish? Or just how much life can you live? Because that is what you are designed to do. That is what you're destined to do. So in episode 222, it's a very gentle session. There's not a lot of specific hypnotic suggestions. It's directly speaking to your will to be well, and it is waking it up. So it's a beautiful session just if you have a few minutes to take a nap, like a 20-minute power nap, or if you just want to kind of close your eyes for a little bit and recharge. Speak to that will to be well, because when the will to be well is completely awake, the effort that you put behind your healthy action steps and your healthy words, the way that you speak about your body and your health and your mind and your experience and your environment, all of these things, you don't have to try, right? That's something you hear me say in hypnosis a lot. You don't have to try. You don't have to try not to try. You want it to be on automatic. You want it to be on autopilot. You want it to be almost effortless. And I say almost because there's always a little effort that needs to be put in there. Um, so when I created the Get Well with Me podcast many years ago, my intention was that I could inspire, uplift, and most importantly, speak to that that brilliant unconscious mind. And in this particular session was actually part of a session that I did for Wellness Wednesday a few weeks ago. My Wellness Wednesday group, we are gearing up to accomplish our goals. We're stepping into that kind of pumpkin spice season, that back to school season, that season of discipline, right? And in my part of the world here in South Jersey, summer is just about over. I did squeeze in a couple beach days last week. Um, but it is time. It is time to buckle down. It is time to focus. And it doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be a strain. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it can be excellent when your will to be well has been awoken. So that's what this session is about. I'll go ahead and drop the link to it in the comments just as soon as this live stream is over. And you will be seeing a lot more of me because I am back. I did vacation. I did all of the fun things. I filled up the fun tank this summer to the brim. So it should last me for a little while, and I'm ready to get back into business. get back to business as far as my self-discipline and showing up and spending more time with you. So if you can think of any of those stories where you witnessed someone transform their life because they went through a radical life change or they overcame an illness, they defied what the doctors said were possible. They stayed alive for someone who they love. They healed from an disease. They overcame chronic medication, whatever it might be, right? There's a million stories, and so many are flashing through my mind. One that comes to mind right now is a local woman who I thought she would live forever. And she didn't just take care of her children and her grandchildren, but she raised her great grandchildren. And she is just an icon in my mind. So, shout out to Anne, and she's in heaven. So I know she, I know she can hear me. Um, but that will to be well, it is so powerful. And if you have a story that is maybe inspiring, or maybe it's you, maybe your will to be well, even, well, I don't want to get too personal, but there are many people who we witness that we see that inspire us, that overcome with their will to be well. And isn't it interesting? A lot of times it's not for themselves, it is for someone else. But I want to encourage you today to wake up your will to be well for yourself, because you're going to be so much more able to give and to serve and to inspire. And there is a part of you that hopefully is already awake, but maybe is sleeping, that wants to live more, that wants to experience more fully, and wants to feel good doing it. So I encourage you to allow that will to be well to completely awaken inside of you and what is possible. So share what might be possible in the comments, or share those inspirational stories of radical healing, radical transformation. And that would be an encouragement to me. So I will see you soon, because I'm going to be showing up live much more frequently in this season. Check out episode 222. It's everywhere on every podcast platform. And of course, it's on YouTube right now. So thank you so much for being with me today. If you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe, like, comment, and until next time.